This 100%. The era of entitlement and victimhood, I absolutely understand that. That being said, this channel has over 1,200 videos on it. I'd say what? 97% WNBA related, and I am absolutely convinced there is no more arrogant, entitled, pampered, childlike brat than a WNBA player. League wide. Is it all of them? No, but it is enough to say it is a league thing 100%. And of course, we have that now with Paige Bueckers decided after that Azzi Fudd disaster where the Dallas Wings um, PR person, I guess, decided that an adult professional basketball player couldn't answer a simple question and got absolutely wrecked with the backlash, which was good to see, by the way. It brought together people from all walks of life who said, "What the hell are you doing?" A basketball player asked a legitimate question and treated like a 5-year-old child by having the PR person step in and say, "No, no, we're not going to talk about something that actually is very, very relevant." This league has a serious problem. This is a mess. The stuff that goes on in this league, do you understand? Lots of companies say, "No, we cannot have this. You cannot be dating a coworker." It becomes messy, always becomes messy. I don't care if it wasn't messy at UConn. It will inevitably become a messy situation. And Paige decided she was going to do everyone the honor of speaking about it without speaking about it and let y'all know you can't ever talk about it again. So we're going to take a listen to this. We're going to get into it a little more because this is a huge problem for the WNBA. And they need to figure out what they're going to do because this right here is not going to be the end of it. And it shouldn't be the end of it. And for those who are out there standing and gaslighting for Paige Bueckers and Azzi Fudd and all of that, you need to understand why this matters and why this is a legitimate question. And if you can't, the league is going to have a problem.
Well, first of all, missed you guys. Genuinely hope everyone had a great off season. There is something that I wanted to address, and I only plan on addressing it once. So, if we continue to get asked about it, we will refer to this moment in time, or we will use this time to deflect and talk about our teammates. Um, Quite frankly, I believe me and Az's personal relationship is nobody's business but our own. But and what we choose to share is completely up to us. But as media members, I understand you guys have a job to do, and you guys have to ask questions about the basketball aspect of it. So that's what I will be addressing today. Me and Az have always been the most professional. We've always
Let's talk about that right there. First of all, can I on a bit of a side note but relevant, just a personal thing that annoys the hell out of me, and y'all can try and explain it to me in the comments. And I don't mean anything negative in how I describe what Paige is doing here and other players. It's more an annoyance that they do it, and let me know if my description is wrong, but Paige Bueckers does this, Brianna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, and it's not their normal voice. I've heard their normal voices. A lot of other what is with white players? I don't really hear this on the men's side. I mean, they may have vocabularies because of, where they grew up or this or that, but it's Brianna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Paige Bueckers. They're just three of the biggest because they're big names, and we've all heard them do it. They're trying to me to sound black or what they think is black relative to basketball players, or I don't know, or street. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, that's how they grew up." And sorry, I hate to break it to you, but a lot of these players did not grow up. Unlike maybe on the men's side, although that's changed as well. Paige didn't grow up on the street. Okay, Kelsey Plum didn't grow up on the street. Okay, Brianna Stewart didn't grow up on the street. I played a ton of pickup basketball with all kinds of people from all walks of life. And guess what? We said a lot of things on the court in pickup games and vocabulary we use that we didn't use elsewhere, but we never changed our tone of voice. It's like they're trying to fit in to be accepted in some way, and it just comes off as very, very annoying. I don't know how else to describe it. But anyway, here's the problem, Paige. You're a celebrity, famous celebrity. Azzi Fudd's a famous celebrity. You're in or have been in a relationship that you went public with last year, and now you are teammates on a professional basketball team, which is going to be hella messy, even if it doesn't get talked about to us out here. I promise you it will be messy behind the scenes. And I promise you, if LeBron James and Luca were dating, it would be a massive story and there would be lots of questions because guess what? You decided to take your personal life and bleed it into your professional life, of which there will be negative consequences. We talked about this a lot with the Indiana Fever, especially with the rookie year with Melissa Smith and how she played when they played the Connecticut Sun because her girl toy was on that team, Dejanay Carrington. And then it looked like it got messy in Dallas. And when Dejanay and Paige seemed to become fast friends, there was a lot of talk because guess what? Yeah, that is going to happen. Let me and so this entitlement that you can say, oh, our relationship, even though which absolutely impacts your professional life as a professional basketball player, and is absolutely fair game and legitimate for reporters to be asking questions about it. I promise you, when we get into a game and I don't know, Paige is open for the game winning shot and AZ Fudd looks her off and takes the shot or goes to somebody else. Yeah, it's a legit question to say, hey, ladies, did you have a fight before the game? Locker rooms are messy and they are tricky, even when you just have friendships that go sour. You're going to have a relationship and everything that entails, y'all. And if you have been in a long-term one or in a long-term one, even if it's you're in that relationship that you feel is absolutely soulmates, love of your life, and all of that, there are hard times, there are tough times, there are things you have to work on and work through, and it is messy at times. This should not be allowed. This should not be a line of questioning because the WNBA should not be allowing this to happen. There should be zero relationships between players in the league, especially on the same team. And for Paige to sit here and gaslight and be entitled and act like, oh, well, you don't get to talk about it. You don't get to ask, telling the media, you don't get to ask us questions that absolutely are relevant to our basketball. No, Paige, it doesn't work that way. You need to grow up a little bit and deal with this.
Conducted ourselves as such, and we've never let anything that happens off the court carry onto the court.
We don't know that at all. And that doesn't have anything to do with what's going forward.
That's what we continue to do. And I'm not entirely sure if this is new to media members, to social media, to new people who are watching the WNBA, or women's basketball in general, but
Now let me take a shot at the new fans who just don't understand.
me and AZ are not new to this. We've been doing this for a long time. We have countless reps at it. We have a lot of experience with it, so we will continue to use that experience to show up and be professionals, great teammates, great leaders, the hardest workers, and continue to show up and do our job and help the Dallas Wings win basketball games.
Great leaders don't act like this. Great leaders don't come out and say, hey, we know this is relevant to our basketball and our basketball team, but you can't ask us questions about it. No, great leaders, that's not how great leaders act, Paige. I understand you went to UConn. I understand they let in people who can't read, but you need to be better.
To add on to that, AZ Fudd was the number one draft pick because she earned it, and it had nothing to do with me and everything to do with who she is as a human being, who she is as a basketball player, her resilience, her strength, and her career best year at UConn. So AZ is her great individual person, her own great individual person, and she should be celebrated as such.
There's no reason to celebrate her at all. By the way, that type of thing was said with LeBronny James too. Do you think anyone buys it? By the way, massive story. LeBron James' son getting drafted by the Lakers of all people. What, 54th, 55th pick, something like that. The kid had played like a few minutes at USC, and that was it. And then you've got the WNBA media of course, of praising this, and this is another huge problem too. And I've touched on this before. The WNBA media is like any other sports media. Your job is not to protect and coddle the players. Your job is to report on the league. It is to get the stories. It is to ask the difficult questions, like Christine Brennan did of Dejanay Carrington with the eye poke. And remember what happened? This is how bad it is. And this is that same type of attitude. The players' union tried to get Christine Brennan fired from covering the WNBA because she asked a legitimate question. This right here is no different, and it has to change. You want to grow into a professional sports league? You can't handle being a professional sports league. I have no idea how the WNBA is going to handle a team in Philadelphia. Quick story. I don't. Didn't know I was even going to mention this, so I don't have it lined up. But there's a video from a Philadelphia Flyers playoff game just the other day, and some dude was there in a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey, and I guess he got up to, I don't know, go to the bathroom, go to the concession stand or whatever, and as he's walking up the stairs, the entire place erupted into boos. Could you imagine an Angel Reese fan, or, an Asia Wilson fan or something at an Indiana Fever game heading up the stairs to go to the concession stand and the whole place boos? Could you imagine the stories that we would have? But yeah, and people are tired of this entitlement and stuff, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Paige, y'all cuddling tonight after practice? The lie, she was not worthy of the number one pick. I'd bet everything she wouldn't have been taken if not for Paige in Dallas. We'll never know for sure, but it's a legitimate opinion. It's a legitimate question. Yes, let's blast our relationship on social media on every platform and then make it seem like we are being attacked and harassed when asked about it. It's a perfectly valid question since they are on the same team and the team has a lot invested in each. Yeah, 100%. And then, of course, you have the weirdos like Dame. A lot of you men in these comments are weird as hell. She said, yes, we are in a relationship. It's none of your business about our relationship. Let's keep it about basketball. It is about basketball, 100%. They play on the same professional basketball team. I'm going to finish this up with a question to ask that maybe Dame could listen to and answer as well. Still stupid because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be in a relationship with your teammate no matter what. 100%. 100%. No way should teammates be in a relationship. And by the way, it is not, see, that's the other angle people like to take. Oh, you're hating on the lesbians. I couldn't care less. That's the other thing they don't like. They want to make it like, no, our choices on sex must be in your face. I don't care. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't need to hear about it. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're a lesbian. I don't care if you're gay. It does not matter because the same thing would apply if it was a co-ed team. If we actually had co-ed professional teams. No relationships on the team. It ain't complicated. I don't get it. They're not doing anything wrong at all. Yeah, they are. Again, not being in a relationship. Being in a relationship on the same team, hell, even in the same league's messy, to be fair. Again, we saw that with Nalissa Smith and Dejanay Carrington. Such a a reactive response to something they should have been ahead of before the draft. That is true. That is true. Um, she wasn't the best available. She was drafted number one because their scissors mate pushed for it. Yeah, now, I mean, I don't know if that is 100% true, but here's the question I want to leave you with. This got a lot longer. I didn't think this was going to be one of those long videos, but elimination game, folks. It's the playoffs, elimination game, right? It's I don't know, the night before, or maybe it's a few hours before tip off. Azzi Fudd opens the door to the hotel room. There's Paige Bueckers in bed, and she is not alone. She is not alone. You think that's going to impact the game, or are they going to be professional when they go out there in that elimination game? Legit question. Legit question. Messy stuff. WNBA's got to clean this up. And here's the other thing. I want to finish with this. Well, I should have brought it to at the beginning because I know not everyone gets to the end, but it's important. When she says this is off limits, y'all can't ask about this anymore. Let's be clear, and I hate that phrase. I don't ever want to hear a single damn word out of Paige Bueckers' mouth about anything that's not basketball. I don't want to hear about her activism. I don't want to hear about her uplifting the oppressed. I don't want to hear her talking about the poor. I don't want to hear her talking about equality in the WNBA versus the NBA. I don't want to hear a single damn word from Paige Bueckers about anything other than basketball. Zero activist BS. Zero. Don't want to hear it. Nothing about the culture, nothing about politics. Zero. Because if you can't do that, then don't give me this crap about you think you're allowed to pick and choose which topics are discussed, which questions reporters ask. It does not work that way. And that's that final thing. They don't mean equality when they talk about equality. They mean special treatment. They mean equality when it's convenient, special treatment when it's not. And I'm tired of it. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. You know the drill. I will talk to you later.